Well, good morning to you all. I hope it's a good morning. We do have an update for Brock Purdy, and it is not a good one as this situation continues to drive forward and continue to be an unfortunate one. According to Ian Rappaport, Brock Purdy will miss 2 to 5 weeks, effectively ruling him out against the Saints and ruling him out against the second NFC West opponent matchup. See, this is what happens when they're on the East Coast and they break news at like 5:45 or 6 in the morning. So now I got to make videos and my brain isn't fully turned on. But the 49ers slated to potentially have 2 games without Brock Purdy. AZ Saints. We'll have to see beyond that. But again, the toe is reportedly a lot worse than anticipated, which means Mac Jones will be your starter early on this season. Man, when it rains, it pours for the San Francisco 49ers. I know a lot of this offseason was about injuries, talking about injuries. Yeah, just brutal. I mean, we started it with CMC, kind of on CMC watch. Just so many different things have been going on with the San Francisco 49ers in regards to health. And it's just a tough situation. And again, it's like apparently Brock Purdy got hurt in the second quarter of the game against the Seattle Seahawks. And the remarkable thing is that, and you honestly don't hear a lot of people reference this or will talk about it this way, but he played the whole game. An injury that could keep him out a month or more, he played with, which is, again, a pretty remarkable feat. I was thinking about like how that goes about. I would assume what happens is, if Brock Purdy gets that injury in the second quarter, then what would happen is he goes into the locker room. They go and get x-rays done, right, to determine structural damage. When there's no structural damage, they go and give a potential injection for the pain so that he could play through it. But again, crazy that he has an injury that will potentially keep him out a month or more, and he played more than 2 quarters on it, and help will the 49ers back to a win. So on one hand, it's just really unfortunate situation, but it's also speaks to the toughness of Brock, speaks to the grit that this guy has. I mean, that made me think of his second career start in Seattle, where he had a broken rib. He couldn't throw in the pregame warm-up. He had to go in and get an injection, goes out and throws 2 touchdowns. So you can't question his toughness. It's just an unfortunate one because obviously you lose your 2 main offensive components. I spent all offseason gassing up George Kittle and gassing up this connection between George Kittle and Brock Purdy. I kept saying that this is going to be George Kittle's best season. George was going to go crazy. We saw on the first drive of the game 4 receptions and a touchdown. You could see like he was going for a double-digit reception type game. George Kittle was going to be the focal point of the 49ers offense. And it's brutal, man. So what are the expectations now with Mac Jones? Is Mac Jones capable of winning the San Francisco 49er game? Can he do it? Can Mac Jones, who is a backup in Jacksonville, win the San Francisco 49ers games? That's the question. Can he fill in? Can he do it? My answer is yes. I do think he can. And that's not just blind optimism. That's not just like, oh yeah, we're good. Yes, brutal to lose Brock. He's the starting quarterback. There's no question about it. But I was in training camp. I did get to see Mac Jones go out and sling it every single day. And Mac Jones turned me into a believer. I'll just put it like that. Mac Jones can really spin it. It was interesting because there was a day or two where Mac Jones was the best quarterback on the field. I think back to what now gets referred to as the Brock Purdy masterclass practice. Brock wasn't the best quarterback on the field. He might have had the best completion percentage by those who are tracking that data, but he wasn't the best quarterback on the field. It was Mac Jones. If you guys recall, I came on the channel on live and spoke directly to that. I said that Mac Jones was lighting it up. So one of the things that Mac Jones showed in practice is the ability to throw with anticipation, on time, also in tight windows, either over the middle, back shoulders against the sideline, deep balls. Mac isn't going to run. So that's the element that is really the concern, in my opinion, is that Mac Jones isn't mobile. I'll say that there's a stark difference between Brock Purdy's mobility and Mac Jones' mobility, but Mac can throw the football. He can sling it. He really, really can. So he had some of the best throws of training camp, being able to thread it through defenders, layer it over linebackers in between safeties. Again, back shoulder throws against the sideline. So Mac Jones is capable. Like, he can absolutely be a starter in this league. So I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is the mobility, because as we saw, the San Francisco 49ers and Brock Purdy he was on the move quite a bit against the Seattle Seahawks. And what I'm really concerned about is what happens if that is a similar situation for the 49ers with Mac Jones, because Mac Jones isn't running away from anyone. The best you're going to get from Mac Jones is going to get a couple feet outside the pocket and try to get the ball out. He's not running. Maybe he'll surprise us, but I just don't anticipate him to be able to utilize his legs like Brock Purdy has. So we'll see. And the 49ers just brought in Kendrick Bourne. And the crazy thing about that is Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne that was Mac Jones' number one wide receiver when he was starting with the Patriots. So there's a rapport there. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but these guys understand how to work together. They understand how they see the field together. So that's an interesting element to this is, yes, Mac Jones has been in camp, so he has the rapport with the Juwan Jennings, with Ricky Pearsall, and those guys. So, but the added element is the Kendrick Bourne connection. So, going to be interesting to see how that develops and how that plays out. One of the things that I do want to note, though, from 49ers training camp, there was an obvious rapport built between Mac Jones and Braden Willis. So, I almost anticipate, I think a lot of people are thinking that it's going to be Jake Tonges or Luke Farrell who fill in for that George Kittle pass-catching role. I'm of the belief that it could be Braden Willis. Because, again, you go back to training camp, I've talked about it on my training camp reports. I tweeted about it. There was an obvious connection between Mac Jones and Braden Willis. Mac Jones would find Braden Willis multiple times a practice, and they would run with the twos. So I would believe that Braden Willis will get called up from the practice squad, and he will be utilized as the potential receiving threat for Mac Jones. Now, I could be wrong on that, but that is me taking what I saw at training camp training camp and applying it to the fact that you have no George Kittle and you have no Brock Purdy. And you need a receiving threat at tight end. Obviously, Jake Tonjes was the hero of week 1. Luke Farrell did okay as well. But they need a third tight end. So, we'll see. We'll see if that's Braden Willis. We'll see how that all plays out. But, again, to wrap it back up, Brock Purdy 2 miss, 2 to 5 weeks. George Kittle on IR. Does sound like Jawan Jennings has a chance to play in this game. He is day-to-day. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see how that comes to fruition. But, yeah, for the San Francisco 49ers, a brutal update. Not the one that you were hoping for. Brock Purdy to miss extended time. Brutal, man. Brutal start to the year. But, again, silver lining is playing against a not very good Saints team. And then you got the Arizona Cardinals for the home opener. If the 49ers can squeak out a couple wins, if they can get 2 wins right here without Brock, that would be huge for them getting right. So we'll see how it all plays out. Curious to know what your guys' thoughts are on this entire situation and what you think the current, like the micro future holds for the San Francisco 49ers with Mac Jones, all this stuff that's going on. Let me know in the comments below, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.